Welcome to another episode of Over a Pint. I'm here with Lauren Salazar. Did it say it right? Salazar?
Salazar,
Salazar,
yes,
of New Belgium. Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hello.
It's good. So, we're drinking the Ranger IPA right here. It's very good. And Lauren's here to tell us about it. So
So go
There
ahead.
you go.
All right. Oh, great.
It's your lead
So
in.
this is Ranger IPA. I believe this is the first account that has it on draft or at the Draught House here in Austin, Texas.
We are at the Draught House.
Hi, Josh.
Yeah.
Thanks for signing me up for this. So anyway, this is a Ranger IPA, the first draft handle. Obviously an IPA, very, very traditional American style IPA. So obviously tons and tons of hops, about 70 IBUs, 6.5% ABV. The hops in it are going to be obviously American style, so tons and tons of Cascade. So obviously really great fruity, real citric, and then on top of that are Chinook, and then so obviously you got some nice floral notes from that as well as citrus again. And then I think the third thing is definitely the one that kind of makes it a little different, and that's Simcoe. And of course that's a very popular hop these days. Amarillo and Simcoe very popular. Simcoe has that really.
They're so popular.
They are. Well, at least it's not proprietary like Amarillo. But
No.
so the Simcoe is really a very complex hop, and it really adds a nice depth to it, to where it's has a lot of kind of black currant notes and a little passion fruit, some people say, a little woody, earthy note to it. So I think the three of those things together with, and the one thing I know that I've heard people say is that it's actually like a drinkable 70 IBUs, which sounds kind of funny.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Because that's not a normal thing when you see 70 IBUs. It usually comes with like a little tongue scraper for you to have the second one. But I think we have a really nice malt bill in it too. It's got a lot of C120 caramel, a higher kilned caramel malt that has a really nice bittersweet caramel note to it. So it actually kind of holds, it's kind of like the backbone, or it kind of holds up the hops. So it's not really just like a hop slap. Not that that's a bad thing, because I think that's a trademark. But it's just, there's actually other things to the beer. You can definitely still get some of the esters, fruity esters, and you definitely get a lot of the malt. It's a really nice malt middle. And then I really like it because the end isn't just this dragging, harsh bitterness. It's literally kind of just ends kind of delicately, strangely, and just kind of like with a little bit of warmth from the alcohol and a little dry.
Yeah.
So it's actually like an IPA that you're kind of feel thirsty, so you can actually keep drinking and drinking and drinking, which I have all day today.
A sneaky trick.
It is. It's nice. I think that's like a really great hook for beers. Like there's so many beers out there that are really big, but you don't really, they're so lingering and or cloying or heavy that you're not really thirsty, and you realize you've had the same pint for forever. I am in the beer business, and we don't really like that. We like pints to be empty fast, makes you feel funny, and everybody's happy. So that's basically Ranger IPA, and the name.
Yeah, tell us about that, because it's a story.
It is.
It's
well,
got
and
a
then
history.
all these guys over there, if you're gonna pan over, say, do you guys, hey Rangers? They're not
You want to
listening.
just fill it real quick?
So Ranger IPA, there's a bunch of sales reps over there from New Belgium, Rusty, and Brian and Jerry, and basically our sales force that works for the brewery, we call them Rangers, beer Rangers, instead of sales guys or get out of my bar. So those, we call them Rangers, and they kind of always have, and their old motto I think was to serve, protect, and to consume. And I think the new motto is to pour, to protect, and to partake. It's a tough job.
Wow.
But so they're basically out there, doing the work for the beer and making sure that it's kept, treated well. So by the time it gets to you, it still tastes exactly like it's supposed to taste. So we have like about 150 beer rangers that work for New Belgium, and this is kind of we call it their beer, because this is the thing that we kept hearing from them is like, I love New Belgium, but and I love your Britannomyces beers, I love your sour beers, I love your Belgian beers. I love, all those things, but I really love hops. And so they kept asking us for IPA over and over and over. And we were like, okay, yeah, we hear you. Yeah, we hear you. And then finally we realized, like, yeah, we really do need to make something hoppier. And we do have Mighty Arrow, and we actually have a ton of hop beers. Like our seasonals are basically all hops. Skinny Dip and Hoptober, obviously. Tubalo, and Mighty Arrow are all very hoppy beers, but not, now that you have the hop heads out there, like 50 IBUs, they kind of shirk at.
Disgust.
Yeah, like, I do that for breakfast. So this is an IPA for all those people that it kind of fills out our portfolio. And as a person that doesn't really drink hoppy beers that much, I guess I never really knew that it was missing. But now that I see it here, it was a huge gap in our portfolio, so this is it.
It's like the missing link.
It really is, yeah, and it definitely fills out. And it's going to be fun to see people drink New Belgium beers that never drank them before, because this is it. Yeah. And we really did actually take a lot of time to do this. We didn't just shove more hops into into the boil. We literally
Done.
That's anybody can do that. And I think that there is definitely an art and a craft to making really drinkable hopped beers, because there's a lot of beers out there that you're like, oh yeah, I get that, you put a ton of hops in there, but you didn't really do anything to balance them out, and they're just more harsh and dragging and bitter for bitter's sake. And I think those days are kind of over.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, well, I think the days are of IBUs.
Some of those are good sometimes, but
Oh, for sure. But I think there's so much aroma, so much to be said for like late hopping and dry hopping and all that. That you don't really have to have bitterness for every amount of hop that you bring in. You can have tons of flavor and aroma without more and more and more and more bitter. Again, not that that's a bad thing.
Sensory specialist, right, in New Belgium?
That is my title.
What does that mean?
I don't know. No. Okay. Sensory specialist means I drink a lot of beer. I smell a lot of beer. I taste a lot of beer. What it really means is I am in charge of training people how to evaluate beer.
Okay.
So I could basically, my thing is I can take someone that's very committed, dedicated, that really loves beer, and if you give me enough time with them, it takes about 5 years. I can.
We've only got about 2 minutes.
I know, you look pretty sharp. I think we're good. But I can, if I give me enough time and commitment, I can turn them into a beer troubleshooter to where you can go say, I love that beer, I hate that beer, that's yummy, that is yucky, to that beer is true to brand, free of off flavors, or if not, state-specific chemical compounds, literally talking about, fatty acids or esters, and name the compound and actually scale it on an intensity scale repeatably and reproducibly and statistically validated. So I have been accused of taking something so pure and joyful as drinking beer and have squeezed every bit of fun and turned it into statistics. But I kind of think that that's fun too. Because my job is
definitely
definitely
on it. I think people like that.
My job is to make sure that all the beers are consistent. That they're always, that if you have a beer from New Belgium, that it's exactly what you expected. It shouldn't be a surprise when you go and buy. If you pay that much money for a beer, you better get the beer that you thought you were getting.
Definitely. So just real quick, you were telling me you guys have some cool new stuff coming up pretty soon. You want to just give a quick laundry list of that and maybe what you're excited about?
I'm excited about Eric's Ale because it's my husband. My husband's name. Yay! I love it. His beer, we've had this beer again and again, just made it draft only. That beer is coming out in bottles, like the nice Lips of Faith series, the silk screen bottles, and draft in April. My favorite beer we made is actually probably out, unfortunately, because the name is Fall Wild Ale. We should have called it Flippin' Awesome Wild Ale or Fantastic Wild Ale and didn't date it like that, because it was this great double with spiced with Schisandra, finished with Brettanomyces. I just thought it was like one of the most dynamite complex beers of all time. And then right now is Dark Heather Saison is out right now. That's actually kind of spiced with cardamom, black pepper, of course Saison yeast strain, and of course heather. And then Eric's Ale, which is that kind of the nice hybrid sour peach beer. And then we have a strong blonde coming out. We actually have, I don't know if we've ever said this out loud before, and
It's exclusive.
I know, like, I'm sorry if somebody should have said shush, but we're going to do a Berliner Weiss.
Oh, wow.
And actually, Peter Brewkart, our brewmaster, went to Berlin and was hanging out with the guys at Weinstefan, and they basically kind of, Dr. Frank Methner is like kind of the godfather of Berliner Weiss, kind of hung out there, and so we're going to do a Berliner Weiss, and we're going to do a wet dry hopped sour ale in the fall too. It's called Le Terroir. Yeah, so
It's called what now?
Le Terroir.
Okay. It's the next fall?
It's going to be October, November, December.
Okay. Will it be bottles, I guess?
It'll be bottles and draft.
Okay.
And that's all the Lips of Faith series, and that's really what I geek out about the most.
Yeah.
Beers
Well,
like
they're
that.
very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Well, we're done. Thanks, Lauren, with the New Belgium sensory specialist, the Ranger IPA at the Draught House. Thanks. And okay.